Hi guys, it's Olga Heldwein, and today we have altered Pumpkin Hub. All the info about the hub will be in the description box. Basically, the group of people is altering the different pumpkins, especially for you here on YouTube. There will be ton of prizes, and I will have a small giveaway as well. Stay tuned to the end of video to make sure you will have your chance to enter, and check out my description box because those are such a amazing and wonderful talented ladies. I'm just so excited that I'm taking part of that. Okay, so let's quickly jump to my pumpkin. So my pumpkin was a ceramic pumpkin from dollar store. The finish on the piece was not so great, and I needed to pick 3 holes, 2 behind the windows and 1 behind the door, because I knew that I want my pumpkin to light up to be a lantern. I did similar project a few years ago for the company that do not exist anymore. It was Flying Unicorn, and I really loved my fairy house in the pumpkin, but unfortunately it was really old and dusty, and I had to get rid of it, so this one will replace it on my cupboard. I mark the spots when I want to put the doors and the window. My doors have a slight opening, and both doors and window are resin run through one of my molds, and I needed to place the door over there somehow, so I built up the extension of my house. I used chipboard and washi tape. When I started painting my pumpkin, you could see the washi tape. It didn't make an amazing texture, so I decided to paper mache over it to smooth out the texture a little bit. So I took pieces of vintage book paper, and I just collaged them on top of my washi tape, make sure that all the edges are nicely sealed, and whole construction looks really nice. It's a good trick every time when you are altering the item and you want to add something and you need to smooth out those edges, use paper mache. And I changed the angle because I thought that on this angle it would be easier for you to see what I'm doing. Basically, with the orange acrylic paint, I painted my pumpkin few times. I wasn't super happy with semi-gloss finish on the pumpkin right now, so I will go over it later on with clear gesso from Liquitex, and this gesso will give me this nice yummy texture that will help me to use some mixed media products, to make my pumpkin look a little bit more hunted and scary and vintage and just in general distressed. I also added a little bit of green paint to the green part of the pumpkin, and I'm painting it as the paint is really fresh, so I can mix them a little bit and have a nice blend. For my windows and doors, I used acrylic paint. First, the brown layer all over the item, and then I use a little bit of Liquitex acrylic ink just to increase all those edges. So I know that it's hard to see what I'm doing here. I put the fairy lights inside of my pumpkin and I hot glue them inside. I cut off this part of the footage because you couldn't see what I'm doing. The opening was quite small and it was just hard to see what I'm actually doing there, but I will explain you that I hot glued the lights inside, and then I took 2 pieces of acetate and painted it with a yellow alcohol marker, and I also hot glue it inside of my pumpkin to create a window and just blew it and dissolve the lights a little bit. And we are going to embellishment part. So I have those wooden slices, and most of the things, excluding Tim Holtz elements, are from the cheap store, from the decoration section. You can also buy them in the stores for people who like to build the little train wheels. Or you can just collect them here and there. I love this decorative moss, and I use it in really a lot of my artworks, not only with the constructions when I'm trying to recreate the miniature world, but I really like those little embellishments, and I have a ton of landscaping and little elements that would go well with my fairy houses, because I really like to make them. You could see me going with clear gesso all over my elements. I clear gesso my wooden slices and my pumpkin, and now I'm having some fun with the leaves. I cut them out from the watercolor paper, and then I distress the edges with brown distress, and I covered them with distress spray in the shade Wild Honey, and then dry it with my heat gun. And I was squeezing them with my hands so they will look like real distressed leaves. So I'm slowly building up my landscape. I added the green grass, I added some wooden elements. Now I'm adding tiny pot, and I will put some moss inside so it looks like something is actually growing from the pot. I added 2 tiny skulls from Tim Holtz, and now I'm distressing everything. So I'm using my burnt sienna Liquitex acrylic ink and a sponge to add some texture on my pumpkin. I also use the ink to add some splatters. I'm just splatting from my brush and from my sponge. The kitchen sponge will create really nice natural looking texture, and I'm using the same ink just to add general distress look. I'm distressing around the elements when they are touching together, around the skulls, and everywhere where I put those little art stones. And I'm using ones from Powertex, and they're called 3D balls, and those are tiny ceramics like stones that looks really cool in the constructions like that. I also use some distressed paint in the shade Spiced Marmalade just to add more splatters. I wanted this pumpkin to look really supernatural, like little fairy just moved into the pumpkin. She arranged a little graveyard because she's a little bit dark, because it's Halloween pumpkin. I have also skulls next to her entrance, and I wanted my wooden slices and all piece in general to have a lot of distressing, a lot of those vintage aging layers around. And I really like Liquitex acrylic. Those things are acrylic and they are semi-translucent, and they are just amazing to distressing and aging techniques. Okay, that's all for today, guys. I'm just adding the final touches, and I wanted to touch quickly and give away. Just go to my description box. I will leave all the info about the blog hub over there, all the links to all the amazing ladies. And I have small giveaway for you as well. Just leave me a comment and be subscribed to my channel, and I will withdraw the winner in 2 weeks. All the dates and all the details will be in the description box. Check it out, and I'm so super happy that I was invited to play along with such amazing ladies. I hope that you enjoy our hope and you check all the links, and thank you for your attention. Have a nice and creative day, and hopefully will inspire you to make some pumpkins. Okay guys, that's it. See you really soon. Thank you again, and bye.